welcome to wonderful no sleet, no snow Friday, but be cautious, a little bit of black ice.
Yes, I saw plenty.
And when you see, let me tell you how much black ice it takes to get hurt. Very little, very little. So, and if you haven't signed up for the Pickens County Alert System, they will call you and tell you what is going on with the roads, which is a good thing to know, especially if you get out and leave early.
A computer calls you or a person calls you?
Well, a computer calls you, but it sounds like a very pleasant person. Okay. So that's good. Okay. Now you have a couple of pleasant people here in the studio today as guests who did something. You know, we talk all the time about do a little something for somebody. Do just a little something. Pick up the phone. This is not
just a little something, though.
Yeah.
I'm totally honored and very humbled, and I cannot wait for y'all to get to hear this song.
And it was written when you were diagnosed with cervical cancer. You took that trip many of us take completely downhill, completely deep depression, completely into a almost a time zone that
black hole.
Yeah, we were really nervous about it.
Yep.
And during this time, somebody you went to school with when you were a mere child.
Well, since we're only 21, it was just a few years ago.
Yeah, right. Yeah. When y'all see him, it'll give the cat away. He's got gray hair. Okay, figure it out,
well,
guys.
I do underneath the color, so.
That's right. She is shopping a bottle. So
that's right.
There you go.
Claire, I'll take me away.
Yeah. When you heard this song the first time, what'd you think?
First, he sent me the lyrics via email, and I cried. And then he actually put it on Facebook for me. And then after he and his guitar player...
I thought it was really smart if you put it on YouTube, because there are only a few genius people in this building who are smart enough to do YouTube. The rest of us go, Adam, can you do this? Adam, can you do this? But YouTube has brought many people into the front zone, limelight, that nobody would ever know about. Is this song on YouTube?
I don't know. We'll have to ask him.
Well, it needs to be.
It needs to be played everywhere.
It needs to be played everywhere. Now, I told them when they came today, you know, once people see this, Jasper will miss these good old boys, because they'll be gone to Nashville or somewhere. You know, they may end up in Hollywood. Who knows? This song is touching because you are not the only person who battled cancer.
Right.
So everybody who hears it.
You have to?
Yes. Everybody who hears it says, wow, that could have been my song. That could have been about my sister. That could have been about my mom. That could have been about somebody I went to school with. So, and I've got to, Lord, I got to apologize. My friend Ronnie Harper from 5th grade called me, and I really...
As Bill would say, a long time ago.
And I really meant to call him back, and I have been crazy busy and busy crazy. And trying to resolve my life, you know. 4 weeks into, let's look at the whole picture, I don't have a lot of spare time. And it's kind of, okay, I'm like stressing about it, because I'm like, the guy called me 2 days ago and I hadn't had time to call him back. We were friends in the 5th grade and I don't have time to call him back, so I feel like a dog. But I'm going to call him. I'm going to call him this weekend when I have time. I think he's a ball coach or something, so up in Virginia. He's got plenty of time. He probably called me while them kids were out there on the track practicing something. So anyway, but Ronnie Harper, I'm going to call you. So there you go.
All right.
And I promise to do better, but it is very hard to get around to everything sometimes.
It is.
So, and I told you, I am back to that time zone I used to be in. I was very focused on business. I took care of business. I was all about business, and my children hated it. So if next week y'all see a gloom and doom look in my children's eyes, it's because I'm back to business. And sometimes you have to do that to take care of business. So,
but I get to hang out with you there, so.
Yeah, and I'm all about business, and I don't like I don't want any personal phone calls. I don't want any tragedy and trauma. I'm about business, and that's a good thing, bad thing, because it's not rating me up with Miss Personality right now. But anyway,
she's telling the story.
Well, it's been pretty devastating. But anyway,
it's very stressful.
I have something we're going to show today, and this is very strange how this all happened. Last Sunday, I did not know that this lady was near death. And I had Fred and Freddie for my birthday. They spent 6.5 to 7 hours pulling out old Heart of the Homes and old interviews we had done years ago and putting it on a disc for me so we could share that with you. One of these was about a lady who was she 96 when you met her?
She was Yeah, she was in her 90s. Well up in
her 90s. And she just passed away.
I know.
About approaching her 100th birthday, and it was going to be a big to-do. But I want to read you a little something about her, and then we're going to show a little clip from her. She was very, very wealthy and could have had or done anything, but she chose to spend her money for animal rights.
And I would too. If I ever win the lottery, that is my goal, to take care of stray and abandoned animals.
Well, today we have somebody who's going to be coming on a little bit who moved to Gilmer County and is doing that very, very thing. And you are guilty of adopting, y'all, I'm ashamed to tell us, almost anything and everything, but I got to adding up this morning. She learned this from me.
Yes.
We went to don't ever do this to your children because then it will traumatize them for the rest of their life. We went to the Atlanta Humane Society on Sundays. It was like some people go out to dinner, some people go to the park and play soccer, some people go fly kites. We went to the Atlanta Humane Society. We ended up with Shy the sheepdog, Sugar the Pekingese, Bootsy the Pekingese, Sparky the abandoned poor little poodle.
That I loved.
We also ended up with a Rottweiler that was my baby, and then we ended up with Gabby that we adopted.
Diana.
Diana was a boxer.
Cooter.
Cooter was a boxer, and then we ended up with Cooter and Diana. You're supposed to have these dogs spayed and neutered. Well, guess what? Didn't happen quick enough at our house. We ended up with boxer puppies. So, and then we had them fixed. But
guess what? At one time, we had 6 people and 7 dogs in the house, and it was fun.
It was fun. And today I told the lady, I said, yes, you're welcome to come on and we'll talk about animals and we'll talk about this, but I'm allergic to everything but men and money. So if you bring animals, you have to stay across the room. And then I thought about it. I was like the Atlanta Humane Society's best friend because we would go down there and each child would fall in love with something.
Yes.
And I will say, Shy the sheepdog was the funniest dog.
He was so sweet.
His name was Shy, and it fit his personality perfect. It fit his personality perfect. And well, y'all have to imagine, Jasper, way back when 515 used to stop at the intersection of 53 and 515, and we lived there. And there was a blinding snowstorm one day, and Shy was a huge white sheepdog. Well, somebody called us and said, I think your dog is out at the big road, you know, running in and out of traffic like he's lost. And I think the snow confused him. He was getting older. We had to go get Shy and drag him home, but when you get out to the red light where it stopped then, 515 stopped, it's still there, and it detoured into town or away from town. When we got there to get Shy, he was just soaking wet and stunk, and he was lost.
Disoriented.
Yeah, he was disoriented because of the snow, I guess. But it was so, you know, that was our life, and we lived where Bojangles is. So now when you imagine that, we had all them dogs. And we lived right there at Bojangles. And we kind of looked like the Culhanes of Cornfield County. No, Culhanes looked more up-to-doo than we did. But anyway, yeah, we were kind of like rednecks. But anyway, I started this phobia of adopting animals.
It's a blessing. If you can go adopt an abandoned pet, go do it.
Don't adopt 7. I'm telling
It will
y'all.
bless you beyond means. I mean, and then...
You have 2 now that think you're
And I have a new grand doggy.
Yeah, we have a grand
We
dog.
get to Kentucky last weekend, and Siggy and I come in, and my daughter has adopted from a shelter a grand doggy, and we call it a pit Mason because he's half pit bull, half Dalmatian, and immediately we fell in love with him. So now for her birthday next month, we're getting stuff for the dog. We're, you know,
there's something wrong with this.
We're getting a big bed. We're getting her all the stuff for the dog, you know, and we were so thrilled. And then yesterday we mailed her. And I
can see you saying, Tori, we used to get you comforters and foo-foo pillows and all this for your bedroom, but now we're getting stuff for the dog.
And she'll be grateful because she saved a life. Yeah. She saved a life.
And he is cute.
We couldn't be more thrilled. I mean, it's like, you know, she's 23 now, and she says, well, you know, look at it like this, guys. When y'all were 23, you had a baby. I have a dog.
Yeah, that's good.
And so we're really thrilled. We have a grand doggy, and he is so cute. I'll have to bring a picture.
Well, we're going to talk about animals and what you can do to rescue, whether it be donate money to many foundations who do rescue animals. But I want to read something about this lady. Now, Gertrude Maxwell passed away this week, and then we're going to show the interview that was done at the Woodbridge Inn with her. She liked for you to make a big to-do about her, but there's a reason she was a big to-do.
Yeah.
And I'm going to read this. It was a great sadness that a very close dear friend of mine passed away. Gertrude Maxwell, founder of Save a Pet, died Tuesday at the age of 99.
Oh, 99.
Called Gertrude last week, but her help told me that she could not take calls. I knew the end was coming. Gertrude's maid told me that they had been hoping she would see her 100th birthday on April 17th. I met Gertrude, now this is from Mark Kellinger, who used to own WYYZ, which is actually the first place I ever saw Freddie Brackett.
Yeah.
I met Gertrude in 1990 when she wanted TV coverage for her fundraisers for Save a Pet. We always made sure that her fundraisers had TV coverage. I love animals, and of course so did Gertrude. Gertrude and I had close personal relationship even after I moved from Palm Beach County to Georgia. Now that's a shock, culture shock. Palm Beach, Georgia, Palm Beach, Georgia, Gertrude would call me many times and want me to fly from Atlanta to Palm Beach, to West Palm just to have dinner with her. That sounds fun to me. Gertrude in her Rolls Royce was always at the airport waiting for me. I was Gertrude's date at Donald Trump's Palm Beach home, Mar-a-Lago, for New Year's Eve, 1999-2000.
Wow.
That would have been too cool. I met Donald. Of course, Donald knew Gertrude very well. Aretha Franklin was the entertainment that night. Now, think about that. I'm going to ask you a question, and y'all are going to win a copy of We'll Have a Good Time. If you can tell me, what is a really, really popular Aretha Franklin song? And right now, Miss Aretha Franklin is battling pancreatic cancer.
Oh,
yeah.
is she?
So,
Not
an
good.
amazing lady with an amazing voice. Aretha Franklin was the entertainment that night. Through Gertrude, I met and danced with. Now, imagine this, guys, who are sitting at home thinking, I met and danced with Zsa Zsa Gabor at her home in Wellington, Florida.
Holy cow.
When I met Gertrude, she lived in the Gucci Mansion on Palm Beach. One day, Gertrude called to tell me she was moving to South Palm Beach. She told me she was concerned about her new neighbors because they were rock stars. I asked Gertrude who they were. She told me Elton John and Rod Stewart.
Oh my
I
gosh.
told Gertrude not to worry. Gertrude took me to the best places on Palm Beach. Gertrude was always sending me clothes bought on Worth Avenue on Palm Beach. On one occasion, she introduced me to Mitzi Newhouse, the second richest woman in the world. The first was Queen Elizabeth.
Holy cow.
When I was near death in 2002 after my open heart surgery in 2003, Gertrude called Grady Hospital in Atlanta many times to get my condition. Gertrude was impressed when I bought radio stations. She always said to me and my family that if I wanted to sell, she would buy. She was smart enough to know that broadcast property is like oceanfront property. She bought my station, WYYZ, in 2007. Gertrude was well known in South Florida. She was on local TV daily for Save a Pet. Each year, Gertrude celebrated her birthday with the town of Palm Beach. Both Gertrude and Palm Beach was born on the same day. Gertrude's house is like a museum. The artwork is amazing.
I bet.
There is one original painting of George Washington. Someone offered to buy it for $1 million. Gertrude did not sell it. She has furniture from the set of Gone with the Wind. She has a Picasso in her bedroom.
Oh my
Gertrude
gosh.
is well known in South Florida. She was always at the Palm Beach County Commission meetings fighting for animal rights. She's gone now, but will never be forgotten. I truly loved Gertrude and still do. Go with God, Gertrude. And this is from Mark Kellinger. That is, she was an amazing, amazing lady. And I was
What a cool friend.
a little bit in awe of her because you just think about, she really did have it all, but she chose to spend millions of dollars on animal rights and saving animals. And today we're going to
Good for
show
her. Good for
we're going
her.
to show a little bit of a footage of an interview when she came to Jasper, because she was a big to-do, and she loved eating at the Woodbridge Inn. She loved being catered to. She had a right to be catered to. She did so much for so many. And, you know, she was a school teacher back years ago. And
so where did her fortune come from?
they were from Chicago, I believe, and her husband was, I believe, in sheetrock building, something like that. So, but it all worked well for them, and she gave back, and that is a pretty awesome story to think about living. Yeah, man, she had it all, but she chose to share it, and she chose to give back. and she chose animal rights.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty cool. And I think it's pretty cool that we were going to talk about that today anyway. I don't think it's real cool that she died, except that she's gone to be with the Lord. And guess what that means? She ain't worried about nothing today.
I know.
We're going to take a break and go to our sponsors, and we're going to go to the interview with Gertrude Maxwell. This was shot at the Woodbridge Inn. I think maybe Miss Hannah did this. I'm not sure, but I believe so. I know that we had to send you out there and we had to greet her with so many flowers and so many this and so many that. It was a big to-do.
Yeah.
It was a big to-do. And we say, peace be with you, Miss Gertrude Maxwell. She is now where she wants to be with all the pets that she has seen going on. We'll be back in just a minute.
Rainbow Bridge.
Rainbow Bridge.
For animals, they should not waver and follow a path and go all the way through, no matter how difficult it is.
Maxwell shares with North Georgia Now the urgency she sees with the pet overpopulation and what she says is the best solution for the future.
It is so urgent in my soul that I'm praying to God that regardless of politics, one way or the other, regardless of economy, regardless of this terrible condition of what's going on with wars, regardless of cruelty, regardless of anything, there is one cruel act that I cannot understand in this beautiful, wonderful, kind America, allowing euthanasia to control pet overpopulation. It is, and has no reason, because it costs money to kill these poor innocent animals. And I believe that God created them just to be good and kind and loving and teaching us humans how to live, how to get along with others.
Maxwell is the recipient of more than 200 awards, proclamations, and certificates of appreciation and certificates of merit. All these awards add up to a lifetime of achievement. But Maxwell says it's not the awards or the recognition that matters, but it's the lives saved that make a difference to her.
And I've had many drawbacks. I don't have to tell you financially it is very expensive. But when I look at the whole picture, I would do it all over again. Effort, expense, caring, and a lot of guts. Many people probably do not like me, thinking she's wanting something that is impossible. It is not impossible. And I hope that I live long enough to see that we save money for the good of the people. I was a school teacher, so you must know how I feel about children and what children need. And all of a sudden, together it came that sooner or later, this must happen. The animals should not be killed because there are too many. Euthanasia should not be the answer.
Maxwell is also the owner of WYYZ in Jasper and has announced that she and Linda Carley will be recording a radio show once a week promoting pet adoptions, anti-cruelty to animals, and the importance.
Okay, we're back.
Was she not a sweetheart?
That was a sweet interview. Miss Hannah did that, and I'm so glad that we had that. You know, you don't think about some of the people we've had on this program. Many are gone now.
Yeah,
Many are gone now. We were talking about it. We went through a list yesterday, and I said there are so many people who touched our lives, touched your lives, and you got to meet them. We're going to go to some music for just a few minutes. So, guys, pick out a DVD of either the Booth Brothers or We'll Have a Good Time or anything you want to do. I want to share. Well, Have a Good Time was one of those things. We brought people to really, you know, to television who are now on a regular basis, Angel Spirit. Now, Angel Spirit they were just some ladies, a mom, a daughter, and a sister who sat around the house, went to church, and sang.
Yeah.
Today, they are on television quite often. They are recognized everywhere they go, and it's because this tiny television station gave them the opportunity to see a lot of people. Miss Gertrude Maxwell reached a lot of people when Hannah did that interview. And hopefully some animals were saved because of that. I know Pickens Animal Rescue, Janie Whitfield, was instrumental in helping them. And it was so, so important to her. She has gone on now. There are so many people who help others who are gone on. who are going on now.
Can I just, something that just came to my mind.
Say it before you forget it, 'cause
I know.
that's how we are when
Y'all
we get
know
over 29.
we ask a trivia question, and we're the ones that forget the question, so.
Okay.
Been there, done that, right?
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, I did notice on Facebook, and this is totally switching gears here, but while I'm thinking about it, Hans and Amy are advertising a bottle of wine, and it's in a bottle that's pink, shaped like a cat, and the proceeds from this wine are going to go to one of their neighbors who is a breast cancer survivor.
Okay.
And they're doing this. It's on Facebook. You can get the information about it. But go to the Woodbridge, and they say it's a bottle of German wine, and it's very good. But it's in a special bottle, and the proceeds are going to go to help their friend who has been there for them when Hans was sick.
Right.
And she is now a breast cancer survivor and
Wow.
got a lot of experience, like we all know. So go to the Woodbridge and do that.
And Hans is home. I mean, that is so cool that he's
Yes,
home.
finally.
He is finally home. He sat in Houston on a tarmac somewhere waiting. Really, it was pretty tough because you get out of the hospital after 2 weeks of torture and you can't fly home because the airports were closed.
Right.
And I asked for prayer last night for truckers who are out on the road. Y'all don't know what the United States is facing. We had trucks in the Northeast, took 5 hours to go 30 miles. We had trucks coming out of Montana, out of Washington, got into Missouri, one of the biggest storms they ever hit. I mean,
Yes, they
everywhere,
said it was
everywhere these
bad.
poor truckers are going, there is major weather going on. So we're going to go to a little music now by a lady that stands out among any and everybody. Miss Karen Peck is a woman from Dahlonega, Georgia. She's just a local soul who happens to be on national television every single day. She is the president of the music organization. I mean, she is like the big to-do. She started right here locally. So she is an amazing woman like Angel Spirit. She just started, she sang in church.
And then you're getting a really special treat.
And then you're getting a really special treat because when we come back, they're going to do a song called
Angela's Smile.
Angela's Smile.
Yeah.
So right now we're going to go to Miss Karen Peck, and then we'll be back shortly with a little original music written for my child, the cancer survivor.
Thank you.
The sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. The news came to Jesus. Please come fast. Lazarus is sick, and without your help, he will not last. Mary and Martha watched their brother die. They waited for Jesus, he did not come, and they wondered why. The death watch was over, buried 4 days. Somebody said, he'll soon be here, the Lord's on his way. Martha ran to him, and then she cried, Lord, if you had been here, you could have healed him, he'd still be alive. But you're 4 days late, and all hope is gone. Lord, we don't the grave. But she said, Lord, you don't understand. He's been there 4 days. The gravestone was rolled back. Then Jesus cried, Lazarus, come forth. Then somebody said, he's alive, he's alive. You may be fighting a battle of fear. You've cried to the Lord, I need you now, but he has not appeared. Friend, don't be discouraged, 'cause he's still the same. He'll soon be here. He'll roll back the stone and he'll call out your name. When he's 4 days late and all hope is gone, Lord, we don't understand why you bring it so long. But his way is God's way, not yours or mine. Oh, and isn't it great when he's 4 days late, he's still on time. Oh my God, it's great when he's 4 days late, he's still on time. Just remember, he's still on
That should be everybody's anthem. That
I know.
song
That
is
is a great song.
amazing. That is a great song. And it's funny, this is Miss Not Crazy About Gospel Music, but you love that song.
I love that song. From the moment I've ever first heard it, I loved it.
You know, Matt talked about who wrote it, and I can't remember who wrote it, but it is that song. I saw it first with the footage behind them where they show Jesus going to the cross and they show all these different things behind him. And I think that was the impact that caught me. I wasn't really listening to the words. And then once I sat down listening to
heard
the
the
words of
words.
that song, it is an
It is a
amazing
great
song.
song.
If you have an opportunity to see Karen Peck in concert, go see Karen Peck in New River. Check out her website. Excuse me, you can check out her website and order her CDs too and her DVD. That DVD is available. And it is one, I put it on and play it over and over and over. And I like all the music, but that song, it doesn't matter what I'm doing, I'll stop and stand and watch that one. That's the one that grabs your attention.
I love it.
I want to talk to you about something. You know, every day I get these messages, and you can sign up for it too. It's Today's Word with Joel Osteen. And this week I got this one, and it was kind of at a point that I was going through and deleting, throwing away, shredding, crying, cussing, screaming, and hitting the wall. So,
Amen.
So boy, did I need this week. Today's word from Joel and Victoria. Spiritual maturity isn't measured by how long you've been a Christian, how much you know, or how often you go to church. Spiritual maturity is measured by the way you treat other people. It is measured by the love you allow to operate in and through you. 1 Corinthians 13 gives us a picture of what love looks like. When we are walking in love, we treat other people with courtesy and respect. In other words, are you kind to the person to the checkout counter that may be moving too slowly? And I laughed about this because I was at the dollar store the other day, and a lady came up the lady in front of me had a bunch of stuff, and then I had a bunch of stuff. Because you know how you got to go get the toilet paper and the cleaning products before it snows? You know the deal.
Yeah.
And a lady behind me had one item, and I said, ma'am, would you like to go on? And she looked at me like I'd shot her because she was shocked that I said, would you like to go on? And she said, me ahead of you? And I'm like, yeah, lady, go ahead of me.
Right.
But treat people good. Are you gentle when you are driving? I love this one because I know somebody who is a road raging maniac.
I rode with one to Kentucky last week.
Yeah, who does some wild and crazy things. Are you gentle when you are driving down the highway and someone cuts you off? Are you patient with your family and coworkers? These are all characteristics of love. The Bible tells us that love is patient. It is kind. It does not envy. It is not proud. It is not rude. Love is not easily angered, and it keeps no record of wrong. Love never fails. Notice that these characteristics don't have anything to do with feelings, and I found that very interesting because love is not all about the animal instinct, if you get what I mean. Love is a choice. You can choose to walk in love toward people even when you don't feel like it. Today, look for ways to cultivate the greatest thing in your life, love. Let love grow in you because it is a sign of spiritual maturity and opens the door for God to operate in and through you. I think the song you're going to hear in just a moment is all about love. It's not about a lustful love, a crazy, wild love. It is about loving your friend. And this, when I was reading this, I thought, man, I needed this week. And here's the prayer for today. Heavenly Father, thank you for working in my life. Thank you for loving me so that I can show love to others. Keep me close to you and help me be an instrument of love everywhere I go. In Jesus' name, amen. Now, let me tell you something. You can love by adopting an animal.
Yes.
You can love by calling an elderly shut-in. You can love by showing up at the senior meal on Thursday nights. You can love by going to the Nifty 50 on Monday nights and helping others. You can love by writing a song for an old friend. I think this is kind of a great measure of love.
It's huge, enormous, and I'm humbled and so honored and just blown away. I mean, I don't know what to say thank you enough for this
There you
song.
go. So do you want to introduce them now?
Yes, you're going to hear Mr. Mike Rezutko. He wrote this song. This is his own, and he is going to be joined with Johnny Watson, and they're going to sing my song, which is Angela's Smile.
2, 3, 4.
Turning back the hands of time when I first saw you, seeing beauty in your eyes and a smile that held a pleasant truth. A friend of friends through the worst of times, leaving your smile etched in all your friends' minds. And I see a warm smile in my memories. And I believe it was smiles like those that helped me. Over time, the memories, some began to fade, but never of a smile and the friends you'd made. There's so much comfort given in your smile. It eases all your troubles if only for a while. And I see your smile in my memories. And I believe it was your smile that helped me. When life gets hard and you need relief, if only for a while, Kiss an angel smiling.
Great song.
Okay, took everything. I'm sitting here. Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry.
Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry.
Yes.
Be honored that they took the time to do that. Now, we're going to take a break and go to the community calendar so we can bring the guys over and talk about what it was like. How do you write a song that touches so many people? And this song will touch.
Was it not, Precious? I mean,
it's beautiful.
I don't know. I mean, and he said, you know, he did bring back our childhood and memories, and we used to hang out at the skating rink back in the day. And, you know, I mean, we went to school together, and yeah, he's a true blue friend, and he's got a lovely family, and God bless him, because I just don't know what to say other than I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a great song. We're going to take a break, and we're going to go to the community calendar, and then we're going to come back and talk about the writing of a song. How do you sit down and turn a thought, a passing moment into a beautiful, beautiful song? We'll be back in just a minute. Okay, I guess this week has proven we are doing original music this week. We had Lance Carpenter on yesterday. We had Daniel Hobbs on yesterday. Now, this is an original song that might not have happened had you not gotten some pretty lousy news that you passed on through Facebook.
Out of all bad things, something good comes from it.
That's right. And
you have to believe that.
You have to believe that. You have to believe that. I believe it to the point that sometimes I think, stupid, nothing good's ever going to happen for you, and then something good will happen. Now, Mike, tell me, you have written other songs, but is it easier, if you know a person and you know something's going on, is it easier to write about that, or do you write about just feelings? What's the easiest thing for you?
It's easiest when you have somebody that, well, like this song, it's easy. She smiles. Anytime you see a picture of Angela, she smiles.
Right.
I can remember in the 5th grade, she still had that smile.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's easier when you
I remember it too, honey. I was paying for the braces she got later. I remember that smile. Yeah. And
we
her,
go way back. I mean, gosh.
And her blue eyes, you know, because I was reading in this, I wrote something about her in the book, about she got her father's beautiful blue eyes, and then the next line in the book is, and thank God she got her mother's brain. So
I don't know now. Y'all see me pretty ditzy, so I don't know if she wants to really say that.
That's a compliment to me, because sometimes I act like a ditz too. But you know, when you do, and I told you about a poem that I wrote many years ago. I always saw that poem as a song. Yeah. Have you taken poetry from other people and turned it into songs? Or,
yes.
Yeah, because you can do that. And one of the songs that Percy Sledge did, Take Time to Know Her, was a song that a guy who had been just treated like a dog, you know, wrote this poem, walked in, gave it to Percy Sledge, and within 20 minutes he made it into a song. So that is, if you take life subject matter and turn it into a song.
Right.
Now, who taught you to play the guitar?
Well, I first learned from a friend of mine back, you know, like 98, 99. But you know, it's helped over the years. I'm still learning. I'm not that good of a guitar player, so it helps
to have somebody who is.
It is, and you know, he helps me along a lot. So, but Jerry Wilson was a friend of mine. He taught me my first chords.
So do you play other instruments too?
Radio would be it. The radio is it.
That's it. Now, who taught you to play the guitar?
Essentially myself. A friend of mine in high school played guitar. I went and hung out with him one day after school. And
see, I watch people doing their fingers, and I am blown away, because I can barely play the radio. So it just blows my mind, and that was so beautiful.
It is. I love the lyrics are incredible, but I love the music that you put with it. It's so good. I listened to it yesterday. I downloaded it, and it popped up on my iTunes, and I played it and played it and played it and played it, and I'm just like, oh my God, did y'all hear my song? Did y'all hear? I love it.
Now let me ask you something. Easier to start with music and add words, or do you take the words and add the music?
it really depends.
Yeah.
A little of both. I'll throw things at him. I don't write words. And I try, but I don't do too
It doesn't work?
No, but I can sit down on the
Have
guitar.
you not had some life's bad experiences? I can give you some.
Right.
I've got a whole bunch of things I'll tell you to go home with.
Oh, granted, those happen.
Y'all
However,
be able to write a Grammy Award with it or something.
yeah, however, my feelings come out on the strings versus
Okay.
Mike tends to be a little more verbal about it versus. So it's kind of a good combination, I think.
So do you have a band now again?
This
Are you
is
working
it.
on it?
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
Working on
much
it.
it.
But are you wanting to get a band back together again?
We've
play?
discussed it.
It's hard to fit it in, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sort of.
I mean, because, when you got 5 different people in a band, it's almost being like being married to 5 different people. Because
Right.
Oh, that'd
I
be
mean,
a bummer, wouldn't it?
everybody has to
Lori.
have, there's so many middle grounds that,
Right.
Now let's talk a little bit about families. I know you have a family.
Yeah. I have a beautiful wife, Lori, and 2 beautiful daughters, Olivia and Lily.
They are pretty. You had pretty girls.
And they're homeschooled?
No.
No. Or yours?
My oldest lives in Dunwoody.
Okay.
She's 22, and my youngest just turned 16.
Okay.
And no, they go to Pick and Chai.
Okay. I did the homeschooling routine and it didn't work for me because I'm not stern enough, am I?
No.
I'm a pushover.
Hello. No, it didn't work.
It didn't work. But it's funny when you look back. I've been reading a lot of my mistakes, and when you look back, life isn't perfect. So, an unperfect life makes for a great song.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it does.
Sometimes.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Now, have you written about part of your life?
I've written a couple songs, but they
So do you
just-
sing around the house all the time?
No,
No?
No.
no,
Lori doesn't make you sing all the time?
no.
I would.
She turns the TV up and drowns me out.
Shut up.
Oh.
Now, do you sit and strum for peace and contentment, and does it bring a calmness to you?
It's a lot of times it's like the stress release or
Therapy.
Yeah, it's
And cheaper than $100 an hour. Yeah.
yeah, very true, very
Yeah,
true, very true.
yeah.
It just sometimes it's the urge comes across you and you grab the nearest thing with strings and start beating on it. And
Yeah.
Wow.
what
So
happens,
do you
what
play
happens.
other instruments?
A little drum, a little bass, a little keyboard.
Oh, I can play some drums.
There you go.
I'm lying.
She can't.
Just
She
say we got
can't,
us a
y'all.
drum.
I'm telling you, I've heard her. She is lying. She can't. Duh. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good release for me. I tend to do best musically though, putting things together when he shows up with something and it's it's already there and we just kind of polish it out together and
Awesome.
input from everybody.
So how long y'all known each other?
Oh geez,
Long time?
5 years?
Yeah, about
6
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Found each other through a website
Yeah.
looking for musicians.
Oh, wow. That
So-
is interesting.
Yeah, it's-
And it then ended up knowing people in, a bigger band from Atlanta that we like, and it's
kind of
went
clicked.
from there.
Now, how can folks hear Angela's Smile? I mean, is it available? Do you have it on YouTube?
No.
Why not? I guarantee you. You know what you just did here today, big boy? It'll be on YouTube.
There you go.
Guess what?
It will be on
I
YouTube
hope
It'll
now.
be on YouTube, and hopefully it will touch other cancer survivors. Hopefully it will touch people who may be down and out. Our subject matter yesterday was suicide, and there was a song written by the gentleman who was here about suicide and preventing suicide. He is a preacher today. He was a drug addicted, alcohol. Man, love that stuff. And he got as low as it can go, tried to kill himself twice. But he today writes #1 songs written from his heart. And yesterday I was kind of watching him and I thought, man, I can't imagine him as what he was,
Yeah.
And even though I've heard it in the music and I've seen what he does to other people when he shares these messages, every time I look at him, I think, hey, you just don't look like a drug-hooked drunk. You just don't do it. And many times the life takes us somewhere we didn't intend on being, and today he's 60-some-odd years old and blessing people every single day with his music. I think this music will bless others.
Yeah, if
I think this song will bless a lot of people.
If you can kick the addictions, it's almost like shedding the skin.
Yes.
Because I've been on that road kind of partially, not to the point where I was ready to kill myself, but
Right.
had the addictions and You know, once you're done and break that, it's almost like shedding the skin. You feel like almost like a whole new person. So
Yeah, yeah.
I kind of see where it's coming from.
You've got a whole new attitude, don't you?
Absolutely.
So now you were telling me that you have a sister in San Francisco?
Yeah, she forwarded this song to, I think it's some friends of hers that are internet disc jockeys. And to my understanding, it's going to get some play there.
Good.
So,
Yay!
in California, so
Good.
So when you're global and y'all are rich, will you remember me then?
Yeah.
Will we still be friends?
Yeah, from 5th grade. Yeah.
Put her in a video shoot, right?
Yeah.
Yay!
You know, that is a great idea to show the person who made it through this, that gave you the whatever you needed. Into her recovery, when did you write this song?
It was a little while before we done the benefit.
Okay.
And I wrote it and was playing it at home a few times, and I thought, well, I better get her approval before I put Angela's smile on it, so that she'd know it was for her and that it was all right. So it was maybe a month before the benefit. And
Wow.
And I sat there and cried when I read the lyrics. I was just so touched. I just poured tears. I was like, I can't believe this because.
Listen, don't let her tell you this, but she was pouring tears if the dog looked at her. She was pouring tears if the phone rang. She was pouring tears if the Avon lady came. She was pouring tears if the Jehovah's Witnesses came. She was pouring tears about everything.
It was a tough time.
And I can imagine. Yeah, I can only imagine when you heard that. So.
It really picked me up. Thank
Yeah,
you.
it did. Thank you. And after Adam gets it on YouTube, hopefully it will pick up many other people who are facing something and they need to know that smile is still there.
And I hope it shows people to, you grow older and you lose touch with people, but remember those friendships that were good ones and genuine. Because all these years later, we're still friends.
still friends.
Yeah.
And I'm so thankful for that.
Yeah.
Like I told you, it was probably harder for her to be my friend for 20-something years or 30-something years than it was for me to write a song.
No.
Well, guys, thank you so much for being here. And if folks, you're on Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay. If folks want to see Angela's smile, it's available on there now?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And I've got it on my profile page too.
Okay, there you go. There you go. And it will be on YouTube very soon as we can get Adam to download it, because we're not smart enough, and we admit that. Her daddy was the genius.
But we have Adam.
That's life. We have an Adam. So there you go. We're going to take a break, and we're going to go to the weather. The weather. Gosh, please let the weather be a good weekend. We deserve it. Yes, we deserve it. And
But
please
then I hear Monday, Tuesday, back to snow.
back to snow. Please stay safe and be very, very careful on the roads. There is some black ice out there. The temperatures today, it was in the 20s when we started here. It's only going to get to 40. That means in shaded areas there will still be some black ice. So please be cautious. And we're going to talk, when we come back, about animals and animal rescue and animal rights and animal this. You can make a difference. And during winter months when it's 15 degrees outside, think about the animals.
Yeah.
And think about going outside and their water bowl being frozen. And think about, if you're in the house like me, Wine, are here 7 days now without a furnace, and I've made it just fine, but I'm inside, the animals many times don't have any protection. So we're going to talk about that when we come back, as we still are facing more winter.
Yes.
Take care of the animals, take care of the elderly, and check on your neighbors, and it doesn't cost you a whole lot of money to just walk next door and check on Miss So-and-so who might need a little
And
help.
hey, Frankie Jean, good morning.
Hey, Miss Frankie Jean, and thank you so much for my birthday goodies. Loved them. We'll be back in just a minute. Well, Angela, the animal guest isn't here, so does that mean you and I are going to have to bark or talk about animals? We can do that. We can do that because we're involved in it. Oh yeah, thank you. That's all I need is the dogs on the
My
set.
crazy babies. Oh my
You've
gosh.
got some birthdays, don't you?
Yes, Mildred McDaniel, January 23rd. Happy birthday to you. And then I have an anniversary, 50 wonderful years from your sisters, Romaine and Bessie Holloway. Happy anniversary.
There you go. We do the birthday drawing, and every single week we give away a cake, and it is compliments of many of the bakeries and businesses like Dairy Queen.
Don't put that in the bucket.
Anniversary. And,
We've done that before.
And we want to say every single week you get to win a cake. Compliments of the guys in our advertising department who get out and work really, really hard to contact these businesses and ask them to come on board. If you watch our commercials, you know that we have the best thing going in commercials. For a very small dollar value, you can have a full full-blown commercial here on ETC. Now, I laugh about, I am a collard green girl, and I did very, very well staying away from biscuits and gravy until Annie
Monday's
did that
lunch was
commercial.
So good.
But Annie did this commercial, and it starts with them biscuits and gravy, and I have this weakness. You have a weakness to helping animals.
Yes.
And you rescued one off trading time that didn't work. But it worked out because you let it go back to its dad,
Yes, he weighed 100 pounds, and it was just after I had start feeling better after my last surgery. It was only a month after. And
we kind of told her,
was
you're not really
huge.
able to take care of this dog. But
He was huge, and unfortunately he had to go back. But since then, I already had a spaniel that I had gotten.
off of trading time,
Yes.
we have to say.
And then I went down to PetSmart in Canton in November, and they were having an adoption outside from the, it's somewhere up north, a Humane Society, where was it? It's from the mountains, something, Humane Society was down there at Canton. And this big,
Y'all, when she
beautiful
said up
black
from the north, I'm
baby-
thinking Massachusetts and New Hampshire.
No, I'm talking about North
I
Georgia.
wasn't thinking Blairsville. So go
Yeah,
ahead.
it was somewhere like that, yeah.
So go ahead.
And this black, beautiful baby, she just, you know, I get there and this lady already has her on a leash and she's checking her out, you know. Well, all of a sudden Chloe comes to me and I said, are you gonna, you know, possibly adopt her? And she said, well, obviously she likes you better than she likes me. You wanna try her? So she hands me the leash and we go. And before you know it, I'm down at PetSmart. I'm on the ground with this dog. She's big dog. But we're on the ground playing, having the best time. I come back and the ladies that were there with the adoptees, she's like, that dog loves you. That dog has not played with anybody like that today. She loves you. So that baby came home with me. And then Tori
And
went.
is she a black lab too?
No, she's solid black, but she is part, what did they tell me? Retriever and then something else. So she's got the longer snout like a retriever and the slick coat like a retriever. So basically a retriever's body, but don't know what else she's mixed with. So doesn't matter. She's great.
Now,
Love
when
her.
you got home with her, did your other animal like her?
Yes, because since Mystic had been gone, she was driving me insane because Mystic was my other adopted baby that was killed last year when I was sick. And Lord help those people if I ever get a hold of them or the karma train.
Yeah.
But I'd had her for 6 years. And when she died, Bailey was driving me crazy because she has still got a little puppy in her even though she's 3, and she needed a sibling. So when I got home, it was like, a friend for me, Mommy? And I was like, thank you, God. You know, and they play and they play and they play. They've had a couple of moments where they fought over a bone, but nothing major. They just instantly hit it off.
Kind of
so.
like siblings, they fight over a
Yeah,
bone. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So they immediately hit it off, and it's just been great. And, you know, if I could, I would adopt 500 animals, but I can't financially. And I don't have the space, you know. And I'm the kind of person, if you have a dog, they're like your kid, and they need to be inside and protected. I don't, you know, go for this, ignore them and, you know.
Or leave them on a chain and don't ever check on them, that
Right.
kind of thing. And
People that don't check on them or pay them attention, and then they wonder why they're crazy and mean, and that's why, you know.
Yeah.
I can talk to mine, I say cheese, and they know. They know, snack time,
cheese.
you know, I can.
She gives the dog cheese.
Yeah, and then I could just be sitting there, and they'll be laying there on the floor or on the couch piled up on me, and I can just be sitting there calmly and say, y'all want to go outside? And they pop right up. I mean, they understand what I say to them,
Yeah.
but I spend a lot of time with them, so, you
I
know.
think that's one of the things, and too, if you go to a shelter and you adopt an animal and it doesn't adapt to your home, is there a time frame you can take them back?
There are some restrictions, you know, but yes, they want you to bring them back versus dumping them
Well,
or
our
abandoning
first
them.
Pekingese bit everybody. Her name was Sugar. Do you remember Sugar?
Yeah.
Sugar bit everybody. The reason she was at the Atlanta Humane Society is she bit the wrong person one time, and they turned her happy little self in.
Right.
And she basically, but when we went that day, I had in mind of getting a little house dog.
Right.
Well, I'd never had a dog in the house in my life, and I sure really didn't think I wanted that. But once I got Sugar in the house, then I was sucked in forever.
And then we had 7 in the house.
And then we got Bandit, the little black one.
Yes.
And sad story, but Bandit, and y'all watch your animals.
Yes,
watch
especially
your
if
animals.
they love to ride in a car.
Angela had parked her car outside.
JS was working on it.
He was working on her car. The door was left open. The dog got inside the car. It was the dead of July.
Yes.
He walked back by after working on the car and shut the car door, and the rest of the story is horrific. But but we spent a fortune trying to save the dog. It didn't get saved.
Right.
And it went on to the Rainbow Bridge. And that was another lesson we learned, to be very aware of your animals.
Oh, yeah.
And then when little Buddy got killed, you know, they came to tell me. He had followed me to the mailbox, and then I went over to the office across the street where Wendy's is now. And Buddy was going in the house. Well, he decided to turn around. He saw something and ran back out and got run over. Well, I laid in the front yard for 2 hours and cried.
Yes, she did.
Like a
That's
baby,
bad.
because that was our baby. And
Yeah.
and many people who adopt animals may not have children, you know.
Right.
And I was like, you know, I had Gizmo who sat under my desk. Gizmo was Rottweiler who hated men. She was so funny, she hated men. And then Sugar bit everybody but me. You know, I always had these psycho dogs. And it was like people would say, why
They
does she
say
have
pets
these
are just like their owners.
yeah, so to say. But Sugar bit everybody. Gizmo nailed 2 people.
Gizmo was just protective, though.
She was so wonderful.
She was a great
so
dog.
wonderful. She lived to be 13 years old, and then she died of kidney failure. But it is so funny how when you look back on your life, those animals were part of family. You know,
yeah.
and today the shelters, because of the economy, the shelters are crammed full of animals.
And people, spay and neuter your animals. Please
Right.
do not, you know, we're so saturated with unwanted babies. Please spay and neuter. And I know every time I've adopted,
It's a little bit pricey,
it's mandatory.
though.
It
Yeah.
is. It is very pricey.
But if you
know?
adopt, that's the thing I was getting
If you
at.
adopt, they do it for you, and
Right.
you still can adopt at an affordable price because you get them fully vetted. They're spayed or neutered. You know, my dogs have had microchips in them, so if they get lost, they can be scanned and come back to me. And
You know, that
so-
reminds me of Grant, that dog that we adopted. He was like this muscle-bound dog, and we adopted him after, God, I hope Nicholas isn't watching.
He's still asleep.
I ran over and killed Pugsley. Do you remember that? The little-
Yes.
And I told Nick that maybe he left. I lied. I said maybe he left to go get a girlfriend. I did not have the heart to tell that child I ran over his dog. So this was on Thursday. On Sunday, we went back to the Atlanta Humane Society. We adopted Grant, who had that chip in him. Grant was the most amazing dog who would just sit beside you. I mean, he was so lovable. He was like a year when we got him. So thank goodness he had gone through the puppy thing. He was so amazing, but somebody stole that dog. You know, and I said, why do you steal a dog when the Humane Societies are full of them? Go
Right.
down there and adopt yourself one.
Yeah, exactly.
But there are some incredible animals there.
And to me, adoptable babies, they've been in the pound, and you picture a Disney movie where they're all talking to each other, you know, and they're like, oh, please take me, oh, please, I'll be so good, I'll be so good. And they are. Every animal I've ever adopted is grateful and appreciative to me. And I know it, I feel it, you know, more so than a dog that's from a puppy mill or anything like that, you know, that are just from breeders that overbreed and, you know, overpriced. And why bother? Go get an adoptable baby because they will love you.
You know,
a
I
million
got
times
to tell
over.
this story. We had, out of all the dogs we had at our home, we had one that came from Buckhead. So we had one foo-foo dog, and his name was Otis. Now, Otis was about the dumbest dog that ever lived, but he was a graduate of the University of Georgia, and he had gone to college with his previous owner. We paid $600 for that dog in Buckhead. When we could have gone and adopted any animal that would have been so tickled, but we had one particular child who wanted this particular dog. We adopted the dog. This was the dumbest dog that ever lived. And then I got on the computer and I looked, and it said English Bulldogs do not have a big brain capacity. So he fit well in our house. But we had that old 61 Ford sitting in the yard. This is so funny. Every day I'd go to feed that stinking dog. I would open the gate and the dog would run. Well, we lived right on the main road, and we had 3 dogs killed by jumping the fence and getting run over. So we put up this big fence. Otis would jump out and run around the fence. Now, look at me. Do I look like I want to run around the fence and chase the dog? Well, I did many, many days, and then I learned this trick. Go to the dog's gate, open the gate when the stupid dog runs out, and instead of chasing this dog anymore, I would go to the 61 Ford, open the door. I would put about 4 Oscar Mayer wieners on the front seat of the 61 Ford. The dumb dog, God, he was so stupid. He never caught on. He would jump in the car to get the wieners. I would slam the door. I'd wait about 5 minutes, let him eat his hot dogs. I would open the door, take him by his collar, put him back in the pen. It was a ritual every day. When I sold this car, this guy opened the car to look at it, and he said, "There's dog hair all over the front seat." I said, "Bubba, let me tell you why. This poor dog." But then we had Lucy, his mate, who died. But those, Lucy and Otis were the only 2 dogs that we ever bought, you know, big dollars bought. We usually ended up, we traded for Gizmo, and I can't remember what we traded for. Something we traded, you know, we just traded for. But the rest of them came from the pounds. And today we have dog shelters in all the counties that we serve, and every single one of them would love to see you and love you, love it.
And they
if
need
you would adopt a
volunteers.
pet. They need.
I can't personally go volunteer because
she
I'll
takes
be
them
window
home.
shopping.
Yeah.
You know.
It's kind of like she has this sickness.
oh God, I go and my heart just breaks because I hear them all saying,
And you have a
"Mommy, take
sticker
me
on the back of
home."
your car that says, "I adopted my best friend."
I adopted my best friend. I got that when I got Mystic. And that was true. That was my best friend.
Yeah.
And that was my baby. And, you know, we've always referred to our dogs as our kids. That's, you know, Tori's sisters, and now they are aunts to my granddoggy, and, you know, they're part of the family. Well, Siggy and I had gotten Tori a Dalmatian when she was 6 years old. The Dalmatian lived to be 16. And in October, unfortunately, she had extreme arthritis. Her health had declined so bad that we had to carry her around. I babysat for him while he was on a trip, and she couldn't walk at all. She was completely not able to walk. She couldn't use her back limbs at all. Well, Tori wanted us to hang on to her until Thanksgiving, but we couldn't. She got so sick. And we were discussing what to do. Well, Siggy found a pet funeral home in Kennesaw. And they
Now, y'all, before she goes any further, I got to tell you this story. When she called and said, "I found a," you know, Siggy and I are going down to meet with the funeral home, and I'm going to make arrangements, and I'm like, "What? What?" Well, it was for the dog.
Yeah.
But they gave them such great care.
They had previously worked in a people funeral home, and his mom had a pet for many, many years and could not find a pet crematory that would cremate single. They did as mass, and I don't want to bring someone else's baby home with me when I get my ashes back, you know. So they had this brilliant idea to open a funeral home for pets. They do complete service from viewings to, they picked up, you know, Siggy and I finally made the decision that it was time. So we called Kevin, and he met us up at, we went to Pickens Animal Rescue, and they put candy down for us, and we cried and cried. He was there the whole time. He treated us just like it was a family member. They took her in a respectable box with a blanket and a pillow, and, you know, took her down there, cremated her, and then we got her back in a beautiful box and everything. But someone said to him when he had spoken about this at work that we were going to go to make arrangements for her to have a funeral. And they said, "Why don't you just shoot her?" And he was furious. And he said, "That's always been referred to as my daughter's sister. And that's my child. And would you shoot your child if they got sick? Just take them out and shoot them?" You know, and I was just appalled because that was our child.
How much does it, I mean, money-wise in today's world, how much did it cost to have her euthanized?
The euthanization, I'm not sure. It wasn't bad at all. The funeral with the cremation and the package that we got was $2-something, and then we bought
200 and some
Yeah.
dollars. Okay.
Yeah, we bought Tori a birthday gift, which is they took Candy's paw print and had it imprinted onto a pendant for her to wear on a chain. So it's actual Candy's paw print, and then they gave us 2 clay disc with her paw print in it. And so, you know, if you can afford it, it's worth it because it's a very dignified way to bury your pet.
Right.
If it's your baby.
Well, I can remember when what happened to Bandit happened to Bandit. Bandit was like our baby. And I had spent, I mean, I can tell you, one of the vets here could tell you his children's weddings and college, I paid for it because we did take good care of our animals.
Right.
But when we got to the Bandit stage, we knew that he was at a very small possibility they could make him live. And I can remember that moment when you have to decide, do you go ahead and put him down or do you, and I think once you see him suffer so much, then it's not such a hard decision.
Right.
But it's very hard because these are like,
Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
Gizmo was like my baby.
Right.
Even though people would say, there's that old dog, because she did bark at other people and she actually bit a couple of people. But she was such a great companion to me.
Right.
And she did hate men, I'm telling you. She was so funny and very sensitive to smell. And I think because we had her in the cinnamon broom factory and her nose had to smell that cinnamon all day long, it probably made her oversensitive.
Right.
But she was such a great companion. And, you know, I thought when Siggy and Ange did this, I thought, they're doing what? And then it was perfect for what y'all needed. It was great.
You know, they gave us this beautiful poem.
Because they were
especially-
both crying. It was like not a normal, my dog died, you know, and it was like when someone shot Mystic, it wasn't a normal, my dog died. She was she was in a deep, deep depression for months.
A long time.
And she has a beautiful grave site for her dog because there are many folks who have animals as family members, and I think it's a good thing, especially when you need a relationship of somebody who's loyal, honest, and really appreciates cheese.
Cheese. Yes.
Cheese.
Cheese.
Now, if you can get involved in the
Their little
animal
head go,
shelters, yeah,
Cheese.
there are animal shelters who, if you're a store and you have bags of dog food that might have gotten broken or opened up, you could donate those to the to the animal rescue places. There's so many things each of us could do, you know, to save an animal. And during the winter, as we face these crazy, crazy months, that's the other.
Watch another thing important. Watch your antifreeze because people are having to put a lot of antifreeze in their cars right now. Dogs will eat it, and unfortunately, they will die. So that's another danger that we need to watch.
And we learned too about putting out. We put out some mouse poison out at the farm in the well house.
Right.
And actually sat 2 bags of garbage in there, and dogs got in to slash the garbage, slash the poison.
Right.
So that's also dangerous. So take care of them because they will take care of you, and your animals have taken care of you and helped you recover.
Gosh. Yeah,
So
they have. I mean,
they've been a big part of your recovery.
yeah, I come home and those little 2 faces are just all over me. And, you know, it's funny. I saw a thing on Facebook one day, and it's so true. And, you know, I don't want to get anybody in oatmeal upset, but it said, my dog, regardless of what my dogs think, I can go to the bathroom by myself. Because everywhere I go in my house, my 2 doggies are right there with me. And I'm like, girls, I can handle this. I've been doing it a long time. You know, but I take a bath last night. They're laying right there with me in the bathroom. They're always my constant companions. And I don't know what I would do without them.
They have helped you through a lot. So have you got another birthday?
I do. Mr. James Crowder is 12 years old. This is from your mama on January the 19th. Happy birthday, James.
And we have got the bucket just about full, and it's almost time to do something we do every Friday. And we have to say, this week, we've gotten so many comments, compliments. It was a great week. It was great shows. We had some amazing
How is
music.
there always a bottle in the bucket?
Well, because I'm a water addict. I'm trying to get back on water. And for y'all who don't make New Year's resolutions that you can't keep. Just resolve to do better this year. You know, don't say, well, I'm going to lose so-and-so pounds. I'm going to do so-and-so. I did say I'm going to drink more water, and I am trying to drink more water because I got hooked on the diet drinks, and I'm trying not to do that anymore.
I just hope it's a better year.
But don't put yourself under this, I have to do so-and-so. Just do the best that you can.
Mildred McDaniel, happy birthday,
birthday.
January 23rd, and you are the winner of the birthday
There
cake.
you go, and remember we do this every week, compliments of many bakeries in our area, from Walmart to one of my favorite, and I want to try this, Anthony's Bakery. Have you been there up in Blue Ridge?
Not yet.
No, but I want to go there. I want to check that out. This weekend, if the weather is cruddy, I'm going to continue working on what will end up being, I've read enough this week that I've laughed a little, I've cried a little, I've kicked myself a little bit, but I can tell you, as I share my life with others, I have found out I'm not the only person who goofed. I'm not the only person who made mistakes. And
I don't think I've ever met anyone perfect.
But I've had a hard time opening up some things that I thought were truly my fault. And when you have people in your face saying you shouldn't have done that, and you were stupid, you know, okay, that's part of life. So if life has not been perfect for you, so be it. So be it. You know, just move on and do better. And
Oh, and I have a prayer request. Lisa Heaton's daddy is very, very sick right now.
oh wow,
And they're afraid that his cancer's moved. I
Mr.
don't.
Childers.
Yeah, I don't know an update, but please send prayers to her and her family because they're really worried about him right now.
And there will be a huge funeral tomorrow. Town and Country record driver or owner is going to be laid to rest, and I believe at Soesby Funeral Home, they are expecting
It is
over
Soesby.
over 100 records will be there, and
Oh, wow.
yeah, because he was a big part of the community in Ball Ground, and it is funny how you find different ways to pay tribute, but I think that's a great way for
Yeah.
people to pay tribute to him, to
It
have all the
is.
record guys there.
Oh,
So that's going to
amazing.
be, it's going to be awesome. It is going to be a great weekend, I hope, for you. We are looking forward to a good weekend. Thank God we have made it through weeks of very, very tough weather and having drivers out on the road. Please continue to pray for those guys who make a living
I'm getting
out
my
there.
Ansley tonight. I can't wait. She's
You
coming
are?
to stay with me this weekend. We're going to hang out with Jimmy.
And she loves animals
and
too.
she loves animals
Loves
too.
animals.
She's a doggy girl, so
We're,
yeah.
we're going to say something about her loving animals. She loves animals to a point. They're about to, you know how you fatten a hog, and you fatten the hog, and then that time comes that the hog is dinner. Well, maybe Ansley will be with you, and the hog will go become dinner. Because she
Oh.
loves any animals, and
I do
she gets
too.
hooked on animals. Well,
You can't eat
Porky's
the
fixing to
family
be
pet.
dinner.
No.
yes, you can, unless you got a family pet possum.
Oh my God, that's like on
Green Acres?
no, the Contessa on the Food Network.
Oh.
You know who I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
I do.
Anna.
Yeah, I love
Ida?
her.
Okay.
Yeah,
Last
love
night
her.
I'm watching, and she's gonna do chicken, right? She goes to a farm where Mr. Dude whack fresh chicken, and I'm like, no. Chicken comes from the store. I mean, what are you doing, Anna? Chicken comes from the store, not the farm. That totally freaked me out. Then I was like, I don't know if I can watch this now. I don't know. I mean, chicken comes from the store, not the farm.
Oh, Lord.
That was the weirdest thing. And I'm like, what are we gonna get to watch him pluck it or what? You
Okay,
know?
you don't eat deer meat because
No, because
every day
we
of our
had to.
lives
We
we
were at
ate.
one point of horror in our life.
Yes, we did eat deer meat every day, and
I can't do it. Nope.
Now I'll cook something, whether it be spaghetti or chili or whatever, and I'll be in there cooking it, and she'll say, this is before the Blue Star closed. Have you been to the Blue Star? I say, yeah, I went and ground chuck. She says, okay, I'll eat it. Because she is so afraid that I would go to the freezer and drag out deer meat. The girl doesn't eat wild game
Can't
at
stand
all.
the smell of it. Can't stand the thoughts of it.
But if you have
I'd
good
rather
deer
be a
recipes,
vegetarian.
listen, if you have good deer recipes, please share them with me because
With her, not me.
With me, because we do have some deer in the freezer, and I've made deer meatloaf, deer steak and gravy, deer
Yummo.
meatballs, deer Salisbury steak, deer. I'm just about tired of the deer recipes I have. So if you have any good, and I've made deer spaghetti, I've made deer chili. You know, I've done all that.
You know, I laughed so hard this weekend.
But I did make deer grab it and go, and this is funny. Grab it and go is my #1 recipe. We're actually going to enter it in a contest. Everybody who eats this loves this, And Nicholas begs for it all the time. I made him a plate full, and he's sitting there eating it, and he looked at me and he said, something's different. I said, God. He knew it was deer meat. He knew it was deer meat because usually I use ground chuck.
Right.
He could tell it was deer meat, and I was like, oh, I didn't pass it off, you know, because most of the time, if you doctor it enough, I can camouflage
Well, you know,
it.
that's what I was gonna say. It's funny sometimes you can fool people into eating stuff they think they don't like. And for instance, that happened this week, and Jim and I laughed so hard. We laughed so hard. Okay, I can kick just totally out on a meatloaf, but I'll do spinach in the middle of it. So Jason, my friend, he's been staying with me because he has no power, no water. So anyway, Jason's hanging out, and I'm cooking dinner, and Jim comes over, and we're all sitting there, and all of a sudden, after his second big heap and piece of meatloaf, Jim and I are talking, and I said, I'm famous for this meatloaf. I can rock it out. And all of a sudden, Jim goes, it's so good with the spinach in it. Jason's face went like, and it was priceless. He said, I don't eat spinach. And I said, but that's your second helping, darling. How is it? And he said, you'd never know it. You'd never know it. It's totally awesome. The whole meatloaf was gone.
Yeah.
The whole meatloaf.
Now, Tori makes something with spinach and cheese and chicken that is great. So I want you to check out Heart of the Home's website. There's some great recipes on there. And during cold weather, you like to make those feel-good foods. And there are some really good recipes.
And I made the taco soup from your cookbook the other day again this week, and it's delicious. So try that. It is delicious. So when the weather is cold and you get a little gloom and doom, open your freezer, find something you can thaw out, and start making a simple, good, hot, feel-good recipe. And it does work, and it does make you feel better. And fool your friends into eating something and enjoying what they think they don't like.
And Jason is a special needs kind of guy, and it is funny because he kind of was like, ooh, you know.
But he loved it, and he still had another piece.
He did. So even though he found out the true ingredients. If you have recipes you'd like to share with me, you can also send them to Cherie at ETC Mail. Send me your email address, because this weekend we're going to work on the video email. I love this video email. I can be sitting at home, and no matter what the weather, then I can talk to you and communicate with you, and I love that. So we're going to be doing that. We're also going to be doing something we never do on ETC. We never say goodbye. We always say we'll see you later. I will tell you, Rich Scott, he's got some pretty cool things on Trading Time right now. He might even have an animal or two you can adopt. Don't forget this weekend, as we face more cold weather, please take care of your animals. Please take care of those who will love you unconditionally. From North Georgia now today, I'm Cherie Martin.
I am Piper Elizabeth.
That's Angela. This is Angela Baker
Taylor
Burgess. There you go.
Laura in the middle there too.
That's right. Named in honor of my wonderful grandmother. Yay. We will see you again only on ETC3. Remember, if you can't find us because of ball games, please just go to channel 14. If we're preempted, we go to 14. Don't forget that. We won't forget you. Have a great, great weekend. We will see you again on Monday right here only on ETC3.
Across his back, and he didn't mind the quack, quack, and the legs all dangling down, oh, down, oh, down, oh. He didn't mind the quack, quack, and the legs all dangling down, oh. Well, the old gray woman jumped out of bed. Out of the window, she popped her head, crying, John, John, the great goose is gone. The fox is on the town, oh, down.